Welcome to the program, Luke Hutchie.
Hey,
Hey,
Hey.
how's it going?
good. How are you guys?
Pretty good, pretty good. So, of course, Ezra, it is coming to OutTV on October 1st,
Yes.
and I believe it's coming to the UK at that time on Fruit.tv as well. So, for the people out there, just in time, of course, October, just the right time for it, as it is a show about vampires. Tell the
hmm
good folks what it's all about.
Yeah. So Ezra is a show about a vampire named Ezra, who kind of, is tired of living in the shadows and doesn't really feel like what his family does is kind of what he wants to do. So he kind of, waddles his way over into the human world, which he's not allowed to do. And so when his family finds out, they all show up to try to kill him.
As
So
one's family
yeah,
does. Yeah.
It happens. Families have problems.
Yeah.
I don't know if murder is always the first solution to those problems, but hey, you can't beggars can't be choosers, right?
To each their own.
Yeah.
You know, who knows? But yeah, no, I'm really excited for people to see it. I think the show has like a lot of, there's very specific characters to it. So I feel like everyone will find someone that they kind of relate to, but it's a very eclectic cast. It's so funny.
Now, of course, your production company, Hell Yes Entertainment, this is you guys' first production, correct?
Yes, it
And
is.
so putting this together, like how long was this in the making to get this series going?
Um, this show has such like a crazy origin. Um, it wasn't even like the way it came about was more of I was pitching other shows and there was other things going on and there was other networks I was talking to. And for some reason, everyone kept coming back to this stupid gay vampire idea that I talked about one time 5 months ago. And everyone's like, can we read it? Can we read it? Can we read it? And eventually it ended up in the right hands and it got picked up. And the making of it was so like it was all the right people in the right place at the right time. Like even our writers, like Chelsea Clark is on board. Veronica Stoikowska, who's on What We Do in the Shadows, she's an amazing comedian. Like she's also in the show, but you can definitely tell when we're trying to act in scenes with her. Like there's one scene particularly in episode 2 where she's like freaking out and you can see me trying not to cry because it was all improv, like, and so she was just making things up and I'm just like, oh my god, keep it together. um but it was great. We had a great team of people off the bat that made the show possible, and it just like happened in the perfect way.
Yeah,
Right.
I was going to ask about that, about improving and having some freedom. Like, so it does sound like that you guys were very open and welcoming to that idea to have a little bit of play with instead of just sticking with the script itself.
Yeah, I mean, we had like amazing directors come in and kind of take over every few blocks. But Veronica, like, I want to say, I think everyone else stuck to the script but her. But every day, like, nothing that was written, what came out of her mouth. So every day, it's the funniest thing because you just see every actor fighting for their lives on camera, trying not to like start crying, and it was really fun. But no, we had like a really great cast, and like it watching the show, I feel like you're just like watching a group of friends. Like it reads so well with us. But it was just, yeah, I don't know, we had like the right people to do it just
Right.
like was meant to happen. It was great. And then Priyanka obviously is on it.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. Now, I've gotten to check out the first episode, and
Oh,
I
great.
really enjoyed the scene involving the diversity group presentation. That
there,
was, yeah, right there. Veronica Stoikowska doing her thing in that scene.
and I don't like yeah, that scene, even then, like it was scripted, like I'm part of the diversity club or whatever, but that whole ending thing where she's like, a play that I wrote or whatever,
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
that, we're all just sitting there trying not to laugh and she's just going. Like all of that was made up. Like it was so funny. Oh my god, I can't believe you've seen it.
That was like the perfect button to that scene, definitely. Oh my
She was
god.
so, yeah, she was amazing. So like the show, yeah, things like that. And that's what I'm saying. Like it has a lot of characters in it. So I'm excited. But oh, that's awesome that you've seen it. I didn't know that.
Was the song part of the improv, or was
No.
that
Yeah, yeah.
it was?
Like
Yeah.
when I tell you there was like probably 2 lines, 3 lines in that whole scene, and then she just went off. Like she's just like, and it was horrible because we're like, there's 2 cameras, there's like 10 back like extras there, and we're trying to get through this scene, and no one can. Like she's standing there like, okay, let's go. We're like, I'm in tears, sobbing. And like it was a nightmare because none of us could get, and she's like a professional comedian. Anyways, it was just so funny. But no,
Yeah,
I
no.
want to see that. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Yeah, Veronica actually, we had her on the show years ago, but at least pre-pandemic, she was always doing stand-up and sketch in my neighborhood because I'm in quite a comedy scene in Toronto. Like basically, like there's like 6 blocks around where I live, where it's just like underground club, underground club, underground club. So yeah. Oh man, but yeah, no, it's definitely like it's a fun way to come into this story. And Ezra, I like Ezra is very much like, that's not how it happened and stuff.
Oh.
And she was not like that in the history class and stuff like that. So what was the decision when you were putting this together? You're like, oh, he's got to go to college.
Well, there's the biggest thing when we were writing it, and I feel like, as things get developed, things change. But basically, Ezra's reason for being at college is because he wanted to understand how humans work. That's why he's in a psychology program.
Yeah.
So he's basically just like playing with his lab rats. So he just goes there to just be like, well, you know what? Let's just see what's going on, because I've never been here before. I've never actually seen, humans interact. So I want to learn everything about them, because his only comprehension of humans is like Jersey Shore or like reality television. So he doesn't actually know what goes on. So he tries to learn, and that's how he ends up at Woodcrest University.
So I got to ask, Luke, like you mentioned that this was like, it was kind of like just an offhand comment almost, that just, you were talking about a gay vampire and that everybody kind of like glommed onto. But where did that idea come from for you? Like when it's kind of like, how did that percolate in your mind? Like you want this idea of a gay vampire?
I wish I had a great answer for you. It just happened. I think the biggest origin that I know where it came from as far as making the show was, as an actor and as someone who's often on the other side, I feel like when you get auditions for like queer roles and things like that, it's very stereotypical, very like, just be gay. There's no branching off of that. I think the only show as far as Canadian history that has made a queer character in a mainstream audience that isn't that crazy would be like Orphan Black and Felix's character, because like the character is not about being gay, it's just the character so happens to be gay. So we really wanted to make a role that was like, this person's crazy but they're gay for no reason but crazy. And I was like, okay, let's kill people. And somehow I was like, you know what, mythological creature, vampire, that sounds fun and sexy and dumb, and let's do that.
Yeah,
no, totally.
And I have to say that the opening shot of that episode too is like, you vamp out, and what's the thought process behind the creature effect, as I'll call it, because it's not what a lot of people might associate in a very stereotypical Bram Stoker way of a vampire. Where did that come from?
We just wanted to do something more fun. Like the whole Twilight thing's been done, and like it's been happening. And what is a vampire? And in our show, they come from hell, and it's like a demon, but we call them a vampire. And when we were having all the conversations, one of my favorite movies of all time is Jennifer's Body. And I remember we had spoken to the actual SFX team who did Jennifer's Body to kind of figure out what they did. And then our special effects artist came up with this concept. And our VFX producer, Jesse Forsey, he worked on like Blade Runner and a bunch of other crazy things. He has an Oscar. So we all just kind of went through a bunch of like sketches and things, and we landed on this like extracting jaw thing. And I don't know, we were just like, 2 fangs, that's boring. Like, watch Interview with a Vampire. Like, I don't know. We were just like, let's do something crazy. And it was even filming that was insane. Like, no one knows what we're talking about, but it's like, it was me with makeup, a stand-in, and then a whole fake head that somebody was manually opening and closing. So
wow.
Yeah, we just wanted, why be basic,
No,
Well,
totally. Yeah, definitely. What you have there, definitely not basic.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I wanted, that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I was like, it really, like, I've seen a lot of people, I've seen a lot of vampire films and things like that, and, and other projects. And so it was nice to see. So bravo to you guys, and the whole team for coming up with something that kind of was like, oh, okay. This is new and different. I like this. This is, and the show itself is a ton of fun. And and to your point, when you were talking about, the depictions of queer characters in media, especially in mainstream media, it's nice to see something that isn't stereotypical.
Yeah, and I think like the show even makes fun of itself, and I can't tell you what happens, but it's there's one scene in one episode where two characters are like fighting for their lives, and one character is like, "Who are you?" and the other one's like, that's such a loaded question. Well, my pronouns are he, him. I'm a Virgo. I think I'm straight, but like in a 911 situation. And it's like, it just makes fun of itself. And that's exactly what we wanted to do. And like, your sexuality is not the most interesting thing about you. And I think Ezra really just makes fun of the stereotypes that are stereotyped.
Right.
And it was sick. And I'm just excited for people.
I also just want to say that I don't think I'm ever going to look at any kind of smoothie drink from any place ever again the same way. I'm just saying that for those
made us untrusting of smoothies, sir.
Trust me, you didn't want to be drinking that anyway, so it's okay. It got to a point where there was like so many versions of that stupid drink, and one of them was just paint. But like we couldn't decipher it anymore, and I was like, I'm just gonna drink it. And it was like every day. It was so disgusting.
Oh
but
my God.
The popcorn in the pilot was fun though. The blood popcorn. That was good. That was just like sugar. I was like,
yeah.
eating it.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, Luke, I want to thank you for coming on the program. Of course, Ezra will be available to watch on OutTV.com and Fruit.tv in the UK and Ireland on October 1st. So definitely check it out. Once again, Luke, thanks for coming on, and we look forward to people getting to check out Ezra.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me.
All right. Have yourself a great night.
Well, have a good night.